Okay, so I've been hearing little murmurs of Quinyon Mitchell playing in the slot. Plus, we hear from a fake Colin Cowherd on why the Eagles are going to underachieve this year. His reasoning makes no sense. But that's not all. The NFL league execs, coaches, and scouts ranked the running back. You gotta see where Saquon finished. And why not go over the Eagles' UDFAs and give you my favorite two that will make the roster? But first, sooner or later, we're gonna have to bring up the conversation on who the best kicker is, aka Jake Elliott. What is going on, everybody? I go by Philly Mike, and this is the Philly Tall Podcast. Do your boy a favor and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss the videos. So let's start this off with Saquon Barkley. Word on the Birds tweeted this. In a ESPN survey of league executive coaches and scouts, Saquon Barkley was ranked the fourth best running back in the league. However, a AFC scout had this to say: he's going to be a beast. The weapons around him on the outside, dual threat quarterback, shotgun runs, his versatility, it's a perfect fit. And that's why Eagle fans and smart NFL fans are excited to see Saquon Barkley with the Philadelphia Eagles. Go back and look at Christian McCaffrey's stats. His best year was last year, and it's because the Niners had Brock Purdy, who played pretty well, a bunch of wide receivers, good old line, exactly what the Eagles got. Now, of course, I was curious, who were the three running backs they had ranked over Saquon Barkley? So I looked at the article. However, you got to be an ESPN Plus member to read it. So if you did read the article, let me know in the comment section. And if you didn't, give me your order. Where does Saquon Barkley rank on your running back list? All I know is he is motivated to prove all his doubters wrong. That's why he's been in the lab. I'm talking just yesterday. And he didn't wait for it to get warm out, the weather to get nice, to go outside and train. Once he got to Philly back in March, he was already at it. You see the sweatpants on, the beanie, going through drills. Ever since he signed that contract, he's been rejuvenated and motivated to be the best running back in the league. And I believe he is going to show out in 2024. Get out of his way. As for the Eagles in general, they got to be motivated too, because this fake Colin Cowherd came on the air yesterday just speaking a bunch of nonsense, and it's all really based on last year's collapse.
For the unders, the teams that I think will underachieve this year, we'll go back to the NFC East, the Philadelphia Eagles. Second consecutive season of losing both coordinators. Something's just wrong in Philly.
Wait, what? There's something wrong in Philly because we lost our coordinators 2 years in a row? Do you know why? First year, our DC and OC both got head coaching jobs. That would mean something's right in Philly. Now, last year, young guys, experimental guys, and it ain't work out. That's why we went back to more veteran guys in the league.
And replacing Jason Kelce, the heart and soul of that team, that's the one that gets a lot of attention. DeAndre Swift, Hassan Reddick, Fletcher Cox, Kevin Byard. They lost a lot of veteran leadership. They lost a lot of experience. The finish to last season was an absolute disaster.
Listen, I'm not going to lie. It ain't going to be easy replacing Jason Kelce, but only if he knew that the center replacing him was handpicked by him and an absolute baller. Maybe he'd feel better. Plus, the dude said we lost Kevin Byard. Really, bro? The way he played last year, that's an upgrade. Plus, we didn't just lose him. We exchanged him for C.J. Garner-Johnson, who last time was on the Eagles, led this Eagles defense to be one of the best defense in the league. I also heard him say they lost DeAndre Swift, who was nice in Philly, had his best year. But hello, we got Saquon Barkley. What is this guy talking about?
And we haven't seen Jalen Hurts with less than ideal conditions in terms of players around him on offense. So I think Philly takes a step back this upcoming season with huge expectations.
Man, oh man, he just said we never saw Jalen Hurts with less than ideal weapons. Did you forget the 2021 season when he went to the playoffs throwing the ball to Jalen Reagor? Plus, him saying it like this means he thinks the 2023 weapons are better than the 2024 weapons, or at least hugely different. AJ still here, Smitty's still here, Goddard's still here. Offensive line, minus Jason Kelsey, but we talked about Cam Jurgens. Yeah, we lost DeAndre Swift, but like I already said, Saquon Barkley is an upgrade. Nothing against Swift, but Saquon Barkley is just better. I would think a guy covering the NFL should know that, but hey, give it up for the fake Colin Cowherd filling in while the real one, I guess, is on vacation. I don't know. Moving on to the idea of Quinyon Mitchell playing in the slot in 2024. Ocho talks about his versatility when he broke down his film.
I watched the film on him. On the inside in the slot, I seen him on the outside with bigger receivers, with smaller receivers, and he's changing up his technique based on the type of receiver he's covering. Man.
Real quick, before we continue on the Quinyon Mitchell possibly playing in the slot talk, plus 2 UDFAs that I believe will make the roster because they'll show out in training camp. Let's hear a word from our sponsor, Factor. Eat stress-free this summer with Factor's delicious, ready-to-eat meals. Every fresh, never frozen meal is chef-crafted, dietitian approved, and ready to eat in just 2 minutes. Choose from weekly menu of 35 options, including popular options like Calorie Smart, Keto, Protein Plus, or Vegan and Veggie. Also discover more than 60 add-ons every week like breakfast, on-the-go lunch, snacks, and beverages to help you stay fueled and feel good all day long. What are you waiting for? Get started today and fuel up for your springtime goals. One of my favorite things about Factor is simply eliminate the hassle of prepping, cooking, or cleaning up. Simply heat and savor the good stuff. Plus, it's really flexible. I went to Virginia, paused my order, everything was good. When I came back, I got on my regularly scheduled program. You can add and subtract with ease. Head to Factor75.com or click the link below and use code PhillyMike50 to get 50% off your first Factor box and 20% off your next month of orders. That's code PhillyMike50 at Factor75.com to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month of orders. Link is in the description and the pinned comment section. Stop ordering now. Factor will get you right. I got mine. Go get yours. Just because Ocho liked his film in the slot don't mean the Eagles will play him there. We all know he's an outside guy. However, what if Slay wins one job and Isaiah Rodgers is who we think he is, right? A lot of people believe Isaiah Rodgers can win that cornerback 2 spot. If you wanted to get speed and talent on the field, maybe you try Quinyon Mitchell there. Again, this is not a report. We're just talking about it for the simple fact that the Eagles have a really good problem, a loaded secondary, and you want to get the best players on the field. I know Cooper DeJean could also earn or win that slot position. It's just going to be really interesting. Just to reiterate, I'm only thinking about playing Quinyon in the slot if Slay and Rodgers obtain the 2 outside spot. If Quinyon could beat Isaiah Rodgers out or whoever out, put him on the outside. Let him shine. But man, Slay, Rodgers, and Mitchell all running 4.3s and 4.2s. That's a very fast secondary. So yesterday we talked about my 2 breakout candidates. Go back and check out that video, or it should pop up at the end right in front of me. Today I want to talk about the 2 UDFA signings I believe that could make the roster. Here's the list of rookie free agents. Offensive tackle, can't say his name, from Maryland. Tight end, McCallan Castle from Tennessee. D-tackle, Aneem Dankwa from Howard. D-tackle, Gabe Hall from Baylor. Running back, Kendall Milton from Georgia. Safety, Andre Sam from LSU. And offensive tackle, Laken V, international player. Real quick, before I give my 2 favorite and the ones I think that are going to make the roster, let me know in the comment section who's your favorite 2 UDFA signings. My honorable mention is going to be Laken V, simply because I'm hoping between him and Stoutland, we can get a Jordan Mailata 2.0, go 2 for 2 when transitioning rugby players into all-pro left tackles, and in this case, maybe right tackle. Now, to the first of 2 UDFAs, Gabe Hall, the D-tackle out of Baylor, who's 6'6", 291 pounds, had 77 total tackles, 16.5 tackles for loss, and 12.5 sacks across 5 seasons at Baylor from 2019 to 2023. He was selected to the Big 12 Commissioner Honor Roll twice at Baylor. The Waller, Texas native, stood out at the Senior Bowl and was the number 45 player on Bruce Feldman's college football freak list. Again, just looking at his tape, the ability to rush the passer and stop the run, it just shows up on film. A lot of scouts had a 4th-round grade, 5th-round grade on him at the latest, and he went undrafted for whatever reason. Again, when you look at the D tackles, we know Jalen Carter, Milton Williams, Jordan Davis. Behind them is Marlon T. and Ajomo. Could Gabe Hall beat out one of them? Or, because the Eagles are young, are they willing to go with 6 D tackles? I don't know. But Gabe Hall, one of my favorite UDFA signings and a guy I believe is going to make the roster. Next, we got Kendall Milton out of Georgia, 6'2", 225 pounds, rushed for 1,839 yards and 23 touchdowns in 4 seasons at Georgia, 2020 through 2023. The Fresno, California native was named the Capital One Orange Bowl MVP in 2023 after rushing for 104 yards and 2 touchdowns in the Bulldogs' 63-3 win over Florida State. Milton won 2 CFP national championships at Georgia in 2021 and 2022. With Saquon Barkley as your main back and Will Shipley and Kenny G fighting it out for RB2 and 3, you might be thinking, why is he going to make the roster? Honestly, Kenny G's contract's coming up soon. For the first time, the Eagles decided to pay a running back in Saquon Barkley for 3 years. So I don't see them paying a guy like Kenny G. So with the Eagles always preparing for the future, Kendall Milton, I believe, can make the roster simply because a trade for Kenny G and or someone else signing him in free agency could be coming up in the next offseason. That means the Eagles running back room will have some talented, cheap guys for the next 4 years while also having Saquon Barkley for 3 years. Again, nothing against Kenny G, but once you got Saquon Barkley on the roster, you can't pay him. I'm going to wish him luck somewhere else if he ends up leaving the Eagles next offseason. But for now, he's an Eagle, and he's probably going to fight it out with Will Shipley for RB2. With all that being said, I go by Philly Mike, and this is the Philly Talk Podcast. Drop the muscle emoji in the comment section if you got nothing to say. Do your boy a favor, hit that like, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you got that notification bell rung. Also, leave all your thoughts. I absolutely love hearing from you. I try to answer as many as I can. And tell me this picture of Jalen Hurts going Super Saiyan ain't fire. Until next time, you know what time it is. We out.